Hello everybody and welcome back to Middle-earth. This is Count MRVHS with episode 17 of our 4th Age Total War Dwarves campaign. And we are fighting a defensive battle here, but we have been placed at the top of a nice hill, so I'm going to try to take advantage of this. I'm running my troops out to the peak here. We're going to be shooting down into the enemy, and so that is going to probably impel them to advance up the slope toward us. Now what I want to have happen is to get into the fight really fast. Here come their horsemen. And I want to just run down the field. There we go. My archers are going to take a hit for sure. These guys are already wavering, and it's important to note that these guys are also led only by a captain. So that is going to mean that they are not going to have the best morale. We want to get into melee quickly because, as we've seen, all of these Dunlanding units have skirmish ability. So I think we're in a pretty decent position so far. We've taken out a unit or so of their cav. Now we're attacking their axemen. Here come some huntsmen. And these are all infantry troops, although some of them are archers. Okay. So maybe my goal will be to ignore the cav. Just run right down here into the middle of it all. And if the cav wants to come up, I've got archers. I've got dwarven archers, which are pretty sturdy, and I've got cav up here to kind of hold that position. Yeah, see, they're throwing their spears. They're charging down the hill. Love to catch that cav general, but I don't know that they're going to give us a chance. But we've got our long axes down, along with a family member right here. Pike's coming in from the side. And their cav is just staying out and away, which is going to give my archers a chance to fire them into a rout, which is great. Alright, we're still attacking at range. They're waiting to throw those spears. Go. Okay, it only took out one of my dwarves, so that's great. There he goes. Nope. There he is. Okay. So we got the general. Okay. I can bring my cav around, I think, because these horsemen are really no threat. There goes the captain's unit. These guys are still throwing at us, which is very, very unfortunate. My cav go around here, so we're going to hit the archers, I think. Meanwhile, we can tie up these melee guys who are just throwing stuff at us. That would be great. Yep, they're going to rout. These guys are getting mauled. Yeah, so tribal pikes are surprisingly good. They don't have any throwing weapons, but they've got, you know, long spears, and they can hold out pretty well if their morale is supported, right? If they are supported by other troops. In this case, they're holding out, you know, longer than I would think, because their general is gone basically. But I'm also not attacking them with anything like numerical superiority. I've got 23 dwarves in this Durin's Guard unit and 29 in the long axes, and, you know, we're kind of sandwiched actually between a couple of units, or were, until we managed to rout them. Alright, oh, tribal spearmen. I don't want to charge my cav into that. bring the axes around here to hit these tribal spearmen and, if necessary, help out with the pikes, but they are wavering. Alright, let's go and chase the bowmen, I guess. Yep, there go those tribal pikes. Let's hit these spearmen from both sides. Tier 1 unit here, doing surprisingly well. Might be able to rout these guys with a cav charge, but probably not. Let's hold off. I'm reloading already, but maybe that bought time for my my Durance guard to hit them. Yep. Catch them. There they go. And there they go. Very good. Yes, continue this battle. Okay. Archers have used all of their arrows. Just a couple throwing spears left on those Dunlanding mercenaries, but that's good to see. Such a treat to have mercenary cav when you're playing as the dwarves, just to end this this phase of the battle more quickly. But that's good. We'll see now if Dunland is going to attack again. I was getting pretty close to their city, and we lost about 40. A lot of those coming from the Dwarven axes, which is sad. They are a long way from replenishment. Nope, we are going to get hit again. Alright, this is a 2-battle episode, I guess. Some upgraded armor on these guys, but again, this is pretty low-tier stuff. And if I can get close enough to put this under siege, then I can bring some of my blunderbusses around to assist. So I'm going to go ahead and save this, and we're going to get right into it. I don't think I saw anything over tier 2. In terms of their units. They've got tribal spearmen, maybe some axemen, some cav, some archers. Very basic stuff, so I'm not too worried here. Again, the goal is to avoid taking too many losses so that we can besiege and actually take the city. We're going to do the same thing we did last time, because the AI is going to be centering their line right at the tip of this when they're attacking. So they're going to be right here, and they can't change that when they're the attacker. Let's see. Or at least they never have in my experience. And so I want to get on this high ground just like we did last time. And let's just get everybody in one big line. These woodmen, I don't know why I'm holding on to them, but they've come a long way, I think. Alright, so there's some huntsmen, some axemen, some horsemen. More of the same. Get the long axes down at these axemen. Again, the problem is they just stand off and launch their spears, so that's where you're going to take casualties. I don't think my dwarves took any losses yet, but they did do a number on my my archers. So I'm going to get the cavalry into the fight pretty soon. My general's right in the thick of it here. Alright, I like to wait for my cav to stop moving so that I can ensure a good charge. And when you see those lances drop, you know you're going to get a good charge. Now, we didn't take any losses. That's good. If it says they're charging, they're still getting that attack bonus. So it's good to hold them in until either they start to take losses or the charging text disappears from the tooltip. Now they're down to 34, 33, 32. I'm tempted to keep them in here, but they're probably going to flee anyway. So let's pull them out. Let's focus fire on the general. We can go for another charge if needed, but we get down to 17 men here, and we may be under fire as well. Whoa, what's this? Long axes getting mobbed. Alright, I'm gonna push them into a rout. Hopefully. Wavering. There they go. Alright, let's come around from the side there, and I want to bring my cav up to try to preserve my long axes, who are badly outnumbered over here. But as you can see, here is the general, Dunlandish horsemen, and they're not going to stand up at all to this punishment. So they're routing. Oh, we may get him. Yep. Okay. Got the general, so let's quickly move everybody over here. Again, we want to have a nice charge lined up square, so that you're not charging in at a weird angle or something. And these are spearmen, but I think we've got to risk it. It'll be a charge from the back, so that's okay. These are mercs anyway. That's what they're paid for. And there they go. The general gone. That leads to a quick rout. Very good. So we're just going to mop up again. So hopefully that's the last army they've got at me. Alright, this guy's just going to get fired down, I imagine. There he goes. Okay, so now we're looking at 319. We lost 21. Better than last time. Alright, anything else, Dunland? Oh, almost. Alright, so they are in panic mode right now. Let's see, I can get my guys over here. I could probably attack this army and force it away, but I'm wondering if I can get my men close enough to resupply. But it doesn't look like it. It looks like just barely, which is very sad. So then the question is, do I want to try to push that unit away? Because we might not make it through. We might not be able to make it through, because this army here is very worrisome. Let's bring my scout a little closer. Ugh, yeah. Tons of cav. And some wolf hunters, which are scary, so this is going to be bad. This is going to be not good. And they got a lot of guys in Dunhold as well. Alright, so I think what we got to do is try to meet up with the reinforcements in the form of these blunderbusses. I want to move down here. I want to hit this army and have them run away. Okay, great. Ooh. Okay, so again, if you've seen any of my other Let's Plays, possibly even in this campaign, I may have indicated that this is a really great scenario to be in. This army out in the field has already used up all of its movement points. It can't retreat any further. If I attack them, he's got to take the fight and we'll meet on the battlefield. This, since he's right next to the city, this garrison will show up as reinforcements. If I destroy both armies here, I get the city. As long as I have movement points to walk into it, which I will, then I would get the city. And that is going to be extremely difficult for me to do with a bunch of stumpy dwarves who can't run very well. So I get all excited thinking about it, but it's probably not going to work out. However, good news, I can at least move down here. And that puts me out of range of this big army. And if I choose it, I can now reinforce with 3 units of blunderbusses, which gives them something to think about. And this army can hopefully take the heat off of that fort for some time. The plan is to use them to take the settlement of Dunkreok, which is of course Dunland's settlement right next to my fort there. Okay, so I could assault this immediately. What's that look like? It looks fantastic. Let's do it. I'm going to do an auto resolve for this. 655. We lost way more men than we would have. Well, actually, it is a settlement assault. We probably would have lost a lot of guys anyway. So we're going to crank taxes down to low. Now the problem is we do tend to damage buildings more than you would if you are just assaulting it yourself. But let's go ahead. We've got the money to restore this and get going with the provincial pacification that will eventually allow us to make use of this settlement. Something else I'm just noticing is Harad's going nuts. Wow. Yeah, I mean, I shouldn't be surprised. So one of the things this mod does is we don't use scripts much at all, at least in the commonly understood use of the phrase. We don't have scripts that you have to activate whenever you load up a save. But there are scripts that fire at the beginning of the campaign, depending upon what faction you choose. So if you are playing the Dwarves, we've balanced it so that certain factions get a buff at the beginning of the campaign. And what that means is they spawn some extra armies to start off. I think they get some extra money. But this is a one-time injection to certain AI factions, depending on what faction you choose. And the idea, of course, is to make things difficult for the player or a little more interesting, because it would be kind of disappointing if you're playing as, say Rohan, and the Reunited Kingdom has an easy time and never needs your help, right? What that would probably lead to, in fact, is the Reunited Kingdom betraying you and attacking you because it defeated all the enemies in the area. So this way we can say, okay, if you're playing as Rohan, we're going to add a little script. So Dunabar gets a buff, Harad gets a buff, Dunland gets a buff, right? These other factions get a buff, and maybe the Reunited Kingdom gets a debuff. And so I shouldn't be surprised then that Harad is going great guns up here. It looks like they've conquered all of Harandor and have moved up into Ithilien and even beyond, although they're probably not going to hold on to Calenhad because of the just the vast difference in culture. All right, but Adunabar is going to give Rohan some trouble over here, which should keep things interesting. However, I think we will call that for an episode. We did get to have a couple of battles versus Dunland. Maybe next time we will tackle the battle for Carn Dûm, or I'm almost tempted to leave it for a little while. But thank you very much for joining me, everybody. Have a great day, and I'll check you out in the next episode.